let me start by saying, I've been a fake. I have hidden behind facades with all my fears. But now I am a constant work in progress. That's me today, and I'm here to share this journey with you guys. I'm Sameera Reddy. And I first of all thank all you guys for inviting me here. The lovely students of this amazing space, thank you for choosing me to speak on this amazing platform. So why did I call myself a fake? It is a bit surprising because I'm an actor. Of course, we fake it all the time. But the difference here is, I never wanted to be an actor. It was the last thing on my mind. But acting chose me. So let me tell you how that happened. I'm going to start with a very glamorous picture of mine, and I'm sure when you see it, you'll see why I said that. If Gautam Menon saw me in this picture, do you think he would have cast me as Meghna? I don't think so. So to start off with why I had no idea I was going to be an actress is because when you're here, you really don't think that's going to happen. And today when they gave me the topic of triumphs, tribunals, tests, the tests that you go through to get to where you are, that makes you who you are. Not where you just arrive. Nobody arrives from nothing. You arrive from something. You always have a negative force that pushes you towards a certain goal. And this was my negative force. I didn't get any attention. As you can see, I was very well dressed for my time. And a boy really didn't look at me. And I really want to do shoes. But anyway, I have to say that this person was fat, and I used such a harsh word because that's what I was called. I was shamed at 13. I was very awkward, very tall. But my biggest issue was not all this. It's something that I'm going to share with you all, which has been my biggest fear till today. And it has stopped me from doing most of the things in my life. I used to have, and I still do, a chronic stammering problem. I stammered on every line, guys, every line. I couldn't get through one sentence in school. Yeah, it is shocking that I'm even here on this amazing platform speaking to all of y'all, but it has taken a lot to peel away all that to come to this point. But it all started from here. And not only that, to add to the mix, it just got better and better. It just moved towards me feeling very, very down, very depressed all the time. Every time I wanted to do something with myself, I would get scared because not only did I have physical downfalls at that time, that's what they were called, I also couldn't hold one word. I couldn't say, hi, I'm Sameera Reddy. I couldn't say present ma'am in school. And I was very, very scared. I had very gorgeous sisters. Okay, that's my sister Shushma and Meghna. It did not help that I had gorgeous sisters in the house. People compared me, and I remember there's this one point where I felt very bad, which was my turning point, wherein a very big magazine wrote about the famous Reddy sisters, Shushma and Meghna, and my mother, of course, in the article, and there was no mention of me. I was a nobody. And it hit me so hard. That moment hit me so hard. I knew I had to do something about it. So I went to a speech therapist. And the speech therapist gave me this tool, which I know will change your lives. It changed mine. Do what scares you. If something is terrifying you at that moment, just go for it. If you are claustrophobic, get in the lift and go up 10 times. If you're scared of stammering, speak on a stage. And that's the journey towards acting. That's where it started. Because I still was hiding. I still hid. I was still scared. I lost my weight. And today people think losing weight is a big deal, but for me the biggest deal was speaking. And speaking is like air. Breathing air, you're supposed to just speak. And I couldn't speak. I couldn't find who I was. And at that point, it was the biggest issue of my life. I kept thinking, what can I do with myself? So I took a job. I was actually in a job, yes, with Swatch Group. And you would think in this picture that I'm actually posing with Shah Rukh Khan as an actor, but no, I was behind the scenes. I was really hiding in the back because I just could not come in the front. I wanted to be glamorous, I wanted to be all this, but I didn't know how to get here. So I started going for auditions. I just wanted to break my fears. So I used to stand there with a card and say, "Hi, and my hands used to shake. I couldn't say Sameera, I couldn't say my height. I didn't want the ad. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to break it in my head. So I went at it. I went and I was speaking to people. People would say, "Why are you getting stuck, Sameera? If you finish what you're saying?" People are not sensitive to people who stammer. And it was a big issue. But somehow, I got called for an ad. I don't know how they chose me, but they chose me for an ad right here in Chennai. And that's my love affair with Chennai started right here. I was called for an ad. I came to Chennai. I took it up because I decided to jump in the deep end. What's going to happen? But I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready. I came here. I could not perform. The story did not end well. I went back. I had a complete nervous breakdown at 17. I thought I could be this star and I was ready, but I just wasn't. And after that, Mani Ratnam called. I don't know how. He just happened to hear of me through somebody. He said, "My God, Mani sir has called me. This is it. Chennai is calling me again." My love affair with Chennai. I come back to Chennai. I auditioned for Mani Ratnam. I stammer so much. I start crying in front of the camera. He was very, very sweet and he said, "I think you should go back to Bombay." And I said, "Yeah, you're right, sir." And I came back to Bombay and I just hid again under the carpet. Then I got a call to be launched with Mahesh Babu. Don't ask me how that happened. And I will show you my most glamorous pictures. I was not ready. I was so innocent. I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't act. And I look at these pictures and I feel like I was absolutely scared to a point where I still couldn't break it. And it didn't happen. Somehow, Bollywood called me again. I left my job. I took a dive into the deep end. And I said, "I'm going to do this." And I went at stammering. And I stammered. And I stammered. And I just wouldn't stop it because somebody told me that the brain is like a mouse running all around and you got to catch it. And you just have to tie that little guy up and tell him who's boss. That's the way you will get over stammering. And people who know me since childhood ask me, "How do you speak so well now?" It's because the brain is the most powerful tool and you just have to corner. You just have to corner it. And I did it. And I got into Bollywood. And I started doing well. I started doing a lot of glamorous roles. I flopped in my first film. And then I got a hit. And suddenly my career took off. But I knew I had unfinished business with Chennai. The stammering was in my head. And I knew the only way I could break it is if I did a Tamil film. I had to corner Tamil because I just could not speak Tamil. Every time I spoke it, I would stammer. So I started doing South films and everybody told me, "Don't do South films. It will kill your career in Hindi." Why? I asked why, because I think South films are amazing. I frankly think you'll make better films than what we do back home. I went against everybody's wishes and I started doing South films. I just didn't get the Tamil films. And I said, "No, I need to do this. I need to go back. I need to find a way to speak Tamil. I need to break all those barriers in my head. Because that's what it's all about, testing yourself, falling down, sometimes making a fool of yourself and getting right back up." And out of the blue, I get a call from Gautam Menon. He says, "Hi Sameera, I got a role for you. It's a film called Varnam Iron. It's a small role. And you're my second choice because the first girl turned me down." I didn't even listen to the script. I said, "I want to do a Tamil film because I need to break this in my head." And that's how Varnam Iron saved me. I did the film, and in my opinion, it is one of the most authentic roles I have ever done because all I did through the film was work through my issues. I portrayed that role not scared as I was doing in all my other films. In all my other films, I was coming from a space of fear. Will someone see that I can stammer? Will they find out that I'm a fake? I'm not supposed to be here. Second guessing, questioning, worried all the time. And I feel bad because it wasted so much time to get to that magical sweet spot which I found in that movie. And it changed my life. And the movie changed my life. And that's why when I'm asked till today, which is one of my favorite films, it's Varnamairam not because it was a blockbuster hit. It's because I found that I could do anything. I could break it. I could speak in Tamil, which by the way is a very hard language. Post that, of course, Surya and from the film. And I had a good inning. I did a lot of big films, worked with great actors, and it changed. It changed because it got out of my system, because I pushed it out of my system. I didn't let it get the best of me. I did not let it put me down. But then I also got consumed by the lifestyle. I did very well. I became famous, and life was good. And I thought, what more could I conquer? I've done this. I've broken the biggest barrier in my head. But that's what this talk is all about, because it never ends. It never ends. You are constantly going to be thrown something at you, and you're going to be shocked because you're going to think, I have it together, but then I don't. I got pregnant, and I put on a lot of weight with my first child. I went through complete dichotomy. I did not understand how can this Varnamairam girl become this. I put on so much weight. I became 105 kgs, 105. My husband couldn't handle me because I would just cry all the time. I'd be like, people are not going to recognize me. Who am I? I don't understand. I've been that girl. I've conquered so much. I overcame my biggest fears. I went through so much success. I had arrived. What's all this now? Why am I so confused? I could not recognize myself. And that's when the real magic happened, because I got stripped off of all those layers which life is going to throw at you. You're going to have people tell you success is what's making you. When you get that job, you're going to be amazing. When you find that right boy or that right girl or that right marriage or that right job, you're going to have arrived. But the truth is, you have arrived when you strip yourself off of everything, which is what happened to me. I got so depressed that I would not leave the house for 2 years. And I realized something is wrong here. Why have I spent all this time becoming somebody and then not being able to recognize it and feel good about it? Something's wrong. And that's when the shift happened. Because my husband asked me, he said, why are you feeling like this? And I said, I have failed. And he said, how can you say you have failed? And I said, I failed because I'm not that girl anymore. I'm big again. I'm back to the girl with the New York t-shirt with those amazing shoes. I don't know who I am. And I began to work on myself. And I began to peel the layers and go to who I was, which is a normal, authentic, real person. Because that is what is lacking today. And that is what I want. And that is why I came up with this hashtag imperfectly perfect. And on social media, I got on and I go at it. I absolutely promote it because I know that even if you attain all these achievements, it's never going to make sense if you're not going to feel good about yourself. What happens if I strip you of those ranks, all those accolades, all those triumphs? Are you really okay with who you are? Because I wasn't okay with who I was. Recently, a very senior businessman took his own life because he had achieved so much, but somewhere he felt it was not good enough. He had failed. What is failure? Lack of success. A person that is not successful, where is that middle part between a person who's successful and lack of success? You're trying to say, if I'm not successful and I've had a baby and I put on weight, you can ridicule me and body shame me, so I'm suddenly a failure. And that is what we are taught. And that I want to go back and tell myself right in the beginning. I was not a failure to begin with. Even if I stammered, I wasn't a failure. Even if I was fat, I wasn't a failure. You have to be authentic today. That is what matters. This is what I became in 2015. That Varnavajan girl let go. And it's because I did not come from an authentic space. I had not come from the core of who I was. I just padded myself with everything and felt good very superficially. I lost all that weight now. But today I come from a real space. I come from a space of knowing exactly what I want. I am imperfectly perfect. And that's what I want to end with today. Because life is going to throw you lemons. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to find that magic? And I feel this talk would have done what it needs to do if maybe somewhere in the future I'm sitting in that audience and one of y'all are giving me a talk on this stage. So find your magic, be authentic, and be real, because that will take you far, far ahead. Thank you.